Hello, here we are again, another video for me to show you how I'm learning how to use StreamYard. I videotape this PowerPoint beforehand because I'm learning this platform to see how I'm going to use it regularly as my go-to for live on YouTube and Facebook. Like I said earlier, which is last week, this is completely raw. It's not edited at all because that's something else I'm learning. I did make my goal this year at the beginning to take each part of my business and for 30 days and practice it to make sure I'm really good and understand the ins and out and how to make it work for me. So far, StreamYard is the one. So I have some overlay. There's different things that I'm learning. I saw the videos on YouTube and my coach showed me what to do, but now I'm actually putting into application the things that I learned. So every Sunday, which is Success Sunday, that's the goal. I'm practicing for this last couple of Sundays. I think this Sunday, next Sunday is the last Sunday on in January. That's why I'm using it because by the time February comes, I want to make sure I have at least most of it down packed because I want to come in weekly on Sunday success to set you up to have a wonderful week. And as I get better, then I'm going to do those different daily tips kind of videos and I'm going to do those actually live, not necessarily recorded. So let's move on, right? Today only have 3 tips for you. Last week I have 9. From the 9 tips that I've shared with you last week, because I know if you're anything like me, you already feel like you did a lot in this month of January, like you did last year, because we still took some of that stuff dealing from school. Because I'm an educator, I teach. I work with some of the schools still, not necessarily have my own classroom, but I support a lot of teachers. With that being said, so there's a lot of tension, a lot of overwhelmness, a lot of anxiety still involved, and we brought that with us. So January already feel like a lot. I already feel like I did a lot in that last 3 weeks than most. So I took the 9 tips that I shared with you last week and I broke them down some more. And that's why I say work smarter and not harder. And I think sometimes like we misunderstand when they say work hard to get to your dreams, but in that journey, you got to get smarter in some of the stuff that we're doing. So, as you know, this is who I am. I'm Dr. Philip. I'm the founder of Parallelogram Institute and the creator of Learning, Inspire, Innovating Method. I work with educators that are definitely overworked, burnt out, and underpaid, and they really are ready to transition out of the classroom. So I created this 5 steps process that's going to help them leverage what they already know into creating a business so they could do what they love, control their time, and get paid what they're really worth. This is really what I do on most regular basis. So the question that I have for you, do you have a system already in place that help you complete your daily task? And does that system work for you? So what I'm getting ready to share is 3 tips that you could take a look at to see if it's working for you, great. If it's not working for you, what else you need to do, or you just leave it as it is. Okay. Create one if you don't have one. The first thing, remember the goals and tasks. It's the beginning of the year, and some of you, like most folks, may already have a goal set up. But to achieve those goals, you got to have tasks, daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly tasks that's going to get you closer to your goal and to actually get you to accomplish them. So, in doing that, you got to prioritize them. You can't do everything at the same time. So, there are some tasks that are really more important than others. You may think everything got to be done right away, but you really don't have to do all of them at the same time. For me as a business person, my number one task is to bring clients into the business. And once you bring them in, I have to take care of them. And once I take care of them, I want to make sure they come back and they become a lifetime clients of mine because we're creating a relationship, we're building a family, we're building a community. So that's my number one task every day. Every time I'm looking at business, what can I do today to bring somebody into the business? So that's my priority number one. Number two, am I servicing them the right way so they stay with me? And number three, am I having fun? And they're having fun. Honestly, that's really what I want to do. So throughout the day, each day, I'll take three most important things on my day that's gonna make those things happen. So that way, a lot of administrative stuff that need to be done are still gonna be focused in those three things. Am I bringing more client? And when I bring them in, am I meeting their needs? And number three, are we having fun? So I prioritize that task. Number two, also group your task. And I think that sounds something, oh yeah, I already do that. But sometimes we stray away, or I stray, let me not speak for you, let me speak for myself. I stray away from all of it. And in making a phone call, sometimes I realized I didn't answer an email. So I stopped making the phone call. After I finished, I jumped into the email. And sometimes that's why we don't get to finish our entire task. If you are making phone calls, you should have a list of people that you're going to call. Make sure you call all of them. If you need to follow up with them via email, you put that task under the email task. I've done that. Those are the new way I'm tweaking. It's like just looking at all the things that I need to do. Can I do a batch of them? Can I do a group of them all together? So if I need to call a group of people, I sit down, I make all the phone calls that I need to make. If I need to follow up with them via email, I add that on the email task. So when I sit down to do email, I make sure I answer all the emails. And that way I'm not switching back and forth and sometimes missing doing something very important for my client, doing something very important for the business. Okay, because sometimes in answering one email, you end up answering two, three, four, five, and then all of a sudden you forgot to make the important phone call that were necessary to make. So we really got to be disciplined when it comes to grouping tasks, because it will take you sometimes to another end, but you gotta like do your best to stay within what it is that you're doing, and that way at the end of the day you go check off all the things that you have done for the day. And the other thing is get some help sometimes. If that some of the tasks that you don't get too much, it's very important. Right now, one of the things I would like educators to is to become freelancers. We could be the people that get hired to do some of those tasks. There are tons of freelance definition. You could be independent contractor, small business people sometimes, or outsourced, or they become the go-to companies. And that's what that means, especially you as an educator. Those of you are, I love my English teachers because they got the grammar thing going on. They could edit papers, right? You could write for people for marketing, and the math people, you could become data analytics. You could analyze the people's paperwork. If somebody's doing a research, you need somebody to analyze their data for them, do the graphs, make it look pretty, do digital marketing. All of those things are freelance. So even though you are freelance yourself, sometimes because you're busy doing other things, you might need to get a virtual assistant to help you out. Just like some people get so busy on a personal level, you can hire someone to help clean your house. That way to lighten up your load. Some of the stuff, if you can afford it, it's within your budget, you should get someone else to do those things, and that frees up more time for you to do what's really important, which is get more clients, service your clients, have fun doing it, right? So those are the three tips that I have. That's from last week when I said, well, if you were feeling burnout already and you still needed to be motivated, I shared the 9 tips. So I took three. Those Any of those 9 tips will work. You have to find a way to create a system that's going to help you accomplish all that you need to accomplish. And those 3 tips will help you. Now, the summary, because it's 3 things we just talked about, I'm going to give you something to take action and prioritize your tasks this week. Find 3 things that needs to be done every day this week, starting tomorrow until the weekend, and work on it and practice that. Those 3 things, see if there's way you could batch them together, do all your email, or your phone call, or your packaging, or your printing, or your grading, or whatever it is that you're doing. Just group them to see how much you could get done. And the next thing, get some help. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that you pay, but you could somebody you bother with. You barter. I know it sounds different with my accent. Is I'm doing something for them and they're doing something for me. We exchanging skills. If Because nobody really does anything for free, and as a business person, you want to get that out of your mind. Free meaning that you don't exchange money, but you could exchange skills. So that's the good way to look at it. Those are the three things that I want you to practice this week. Finally, if you want to get in contact with me, these are the many ways. You could email me at info@parallelograminstitute.com. You could join my Facebook group. The link is going to be on the description of this video. You could check out my website, which is still under work, like I said. And then, of course, one greatest thing of all is definitely subscribe to this channel. So today's lesson is just those three tips. I'm gonna see what I'm going to do. Hopefully, if I do everything that I learned correctly, you should see a intro video. You should see something that's live with Dr. Philip, and at the end you should see thank you. In the middle of all of that, you should see my this PowerPoint right here. Okay. A great day.